Lots of things. Primarily for, well, one very close to the top of our list is the opportunities we create for our students. So this is a festival of ideas, writing. I should be clear that it's particularly the arts faculty. So although we always use just the main Melbourne University logo, it's the arts faculty at Melbourne that is supporting us, so that we're the faculty that teaches the humanities, the social sciences and languages. And we very strongly believe in the value of this to society. And as you've identified, we'd often partner with the Writers Festival because we believe that this is a public forum that presents to a wide audience the benefits of the things that we care about. Having a more formal partnership enables us to work with the festival to do things like offer internship opportunities for our students. So work integrated learning is something that is very important to our faculty. We want to prepare students, we want to teach students about the arts, humanities and social sciences. We want to enrich the life of the mind, but we also want to give them an enriched life out there in the world and help train them to work in the world as well. So partnering with organisations like the Melbourne Writers Festival can opportunities for students to undertake internships or have other experiences there, opportunities for students to host sessions, for example, at the festival. Opportunities for, one of our partnership offers an opportunity for a number of free tickets for students to go and attend. For example, I teach a course called 10 Great Books, The Power of Ideas. And I was able to give my students a lot of basically free tickets and get them to come along to sessions. So this enriches the learning that they're having at the university by encountering these ideas in another context. But I think also really, really importantly is the way in which, again, I'd come back to as public spirited institutions, we create public value together. Our academics can go down there and speak and increase their profile as well. People can understand that there's an opportunity for people to see, if you want to to raise the profile of what we do at the university, what we teach. People might want to come and learn with us because when they see us as talking at the festival as well. But it's also really important for us to support an organisation that cares about books and ideas. So I hope that gives you some idea. Good question. And I think that it's something that what the arts and what I call broadly the arts and humanities sector need to get better at doing. So in one way, there's a sort of a quote that I really like, which is something like, which goes something like, how does it go? It's basically sort of everything that can be counted everything that can be counted doesn't necessarily matter. Things that matter can't necessarily be counted. So there is a kind of getting down to just some kind of metrics can kind of miss a bigger point. However, I do think it's really important that we are able to make both kind of arguments. So we are actually working on how we measure better the impact of the work we do in the arts sector. So for example, we had a dinner with the Writers Festival people, with State Library people, with people from the National Gallery this week, where there was a conversation about the economic value that the arts sector brings to the city. That, for example, the National Gallery of Victoria has 6 million visitors a year. And, the income that would generate for the city and the income, for example, visitors to the Melbourne Writers Festival would be substantial. How we would specifically measure the impact of our partnership with the Writers Festival is probably to think about, well, we can measure through social media. So obviously, and that's not my area of expertise. You'd need to talk to our marketing department and things, but they would actually obviously look at clicks, reads, social media measures, about how many people. So for example, when we send out a newsletter from the Faculty of Arts and we maybe have an article in it about something we're doing with the Writers Festival, well, how many people got interested in that? And so, to what extent that, so we can measure that. Oh yeah, look, a lot of people opened that. They were very interested. one of the things that we would do is look at the outcomes for our students. So if a student got an internship and then went on and got a job in a festival organisation with you, that's a really good thing to have happened. But a lot of the stuff, I must say, Violet, is somewhat more intangible. It's about goodwill, and it's about how, for example, because we hosted something at the festival, in the process of doing that, we got to know maybe an interesting group of writers who then agreed to come up to the uni and to give some talks to the students. They then agreed to be part of a research project with some academics. That got attracted funding from a certain organization. What we need to get better at doing is, I think, creating those case studies. And sometimes case studies is a better way of measuring the value that what we do than a kind of economic, a metric sort of scale, because it is a bit hard. But yeah, I guess it's a little bit intangible, but it's something we're working on to actually understand those tangible benefits. I mean, again, one of the things that I reflect on the Writers Festival this year, is that having attended a lot of events, was the incredible goodwill amongst the audience, who were clearly just delighted to be back at a live event after so many years of COVID, and sort of seeing that sort of excitement and interactions between people. And I think it's hard to put a value on that, but I think that goes to something about our civic society, the value of civic society, and what we do, how we create spaces in public to make meaning together. And I can come back to that, but yeah.